This is the chart of an altcoin that is facing imminent, absolutely horrendous collapse here, potentially a minus 88% drop just down to its next key area of support. It's not looking good, bruv. And the thing is that this is actually what the wider crypto space is looking like. So we're going to dive really deep into this in this YouTube video. I'm going to show you which chart this actually is a little bit later on in the video. But before we get to that, let's take a look at Bitcoin, because what we've been seeing with Bitcoin since that big pump up from the fake news is that Bitcoin has managed to hold on to this level pretty well, which I think is a good sign so far. Now, I'm not necessarily loving this hugely, considering that we are kind of, trading sideways, not really using our support very well. And as a result of that, things are starting to look a little bit shaky, and I certainly think that that is, starting to become a little bit concerning. If we actually look at this on the daily time frame, what we've seen is that nice big pump here, followed by now, we've got still 5-6 hours left on this daily candle, but followed by 2 days of consecutive downward price action. So ideally you want to see a little bit more follow through with this kind of price action, especially if we're going to start ranging a little bit higher. But I'll tell you what's good is that we still are looking good in terms of our Ichimoku cloud. We have known for a while that this is quite a strong, important area of resistance for the chart, and the fact that we've actually been able to get above it is a very good sign indeed. So I'm definitely liking that. I definitely think that this is a good sign for the market here, but what I don't think is great is that we have been stuck below this sideways line that you can see right here, this yellow line representing the mid kind of $28,000 area. We've been stuck below this level for quite some time, and we know based off the last video, if you're subscribed you're going to have watched that, we know that this is actually a very strong area of resistance. And just very briefly, if you did miss that video, to recap, you can see that there's been a lot of very, very important price action happening here. This was actually the key point that we reversed a massive uptrend from. So absolutely formidable area of resistance, and it's very clear that it is still posing a problem for Bitcoin. Now, how concerned am I realistically by this before we jump into those altcoins and the really deep dive that I have for you there, which you are absolutely going to love, because I think there are some huge opportunities available for some massive profits to be made. I've already been ripping amazing gains throughout the market this year, and I am potentially thinking that this could be another one of those setups where honestly this looks even bigger than the profits I've already made. So I'm very excited for those. But how realistically, how worried am I of this kind of price action with Bitcoin where we haven't been able to get a little bit higher? The answer is that I'm not too worried, because one of the great things that you want to see when you've kind of made big moves to the upside is that you do want to see some kind of pullback. You do want to see some kind of sideways trading. One of the things that we were actually discussing on this YouTube channel together a couple days ago was that if we look at this on the 4-hour time frame with our Ichimoku cloud, we will start developing some support here, and this is going to be as early as the 21st of October. So that is now 3 days away at the time of me recording this video, and actually more like 2.5 days away. So, if we are able to hold this level for the next little bit, and it's clear that we did have some resistance all around over here throughout the beginning of this month that is now acting as support. So if it remains the case that we are able to use this area, then we are going to start seeing that our support is going to finally start helping the price go up. And why is it taking time, you might be wondering? And it's simply, these charts are representing for us what consolidation and continuation patterns look like. So we already know that when you're trending up, you need to have pullbacks, you need to have sideways trading ranges where the market kind of cools off, and these indicators are great ways of kind of helping us predict, helping us kind of forecast, helping us analyze where that might happen, when that might happen. So for example, if we take a look at the 4-hour EMA ribbon, we're still here seeing a situation where Bitcoin hasn't quite caught up to its EMA ribbon here, but day by day, hour by hour, we are getting closer. What we're seeing is that the price is either pulling itself down toward the EMA ribbon, or the EMA ribbon is pulling itself up. Usually both, and it's usually mainly the EMA ribbon that's pulling itself up. So, this is a case of literally, kind of tomorrow, really. Very, very shortly, we could start to experience some really good support from the EMA ribbon here on the 4-hour time frame, which is obviously quite a reliable time frame for the EMA ribbon. On the 1-hour time frame, we're already in support, which is absolutely fantastic. And we can see, by the way, how this is worked out. The price pulls itself towards the EMA pulls itself up as well, so they're both kind of working like magnets trying to come together. And the beauty that comes off that are these consistent, predictable bounces here where, if you are just looking for these kind of easy, quick trades, 1.6% here, 20x leverage, which I know sounds very, very high, but that's, you're going to be looking at even higher than that, 50x, potentially, or even more if you're looking at this kind of day trade. It's not horrible. You are looking at some really nice gains. 20x leverage on this kind of gain is still putting you at about 36% profit, which is absolutely amazing. I mean, nothing is making that kind of money in this market right now. I mean, there's no other way you can make that kind of money in this market, and especially in such a predictable way. It is absolutely fantastic. If you guys are curious where I'm trading, it is going to be on Bybit mainly for crypto, but I do want to highlight CoinW as well. Bybit is going to give you up to 30k in trading bonuses, so that's super cool. You already know the deal there. What's unique about CoinW is that they're giving you $50 for free, so you don't actually need to do anything. You just need to open your account and then open your futures account on CoinW, and that's it. You're going to have a free $50 deposited into your account. But what they're doing, starting from yesterday, is they're actually, for the next 9 days now, and so we've already lost 1 day, all you've got to do, if you've never traded on CoinW, all you've got to do is complete a $1 futures trade, and you are entered into a draw to win an iPhone 15 Pro. And what's really cool is that they're doing this every single day for the next 9 days. So you've already missed the first day. That's my fault. I'm sorry. But take a look at it if you are interested. You've got the link to CoinW right here in the description down below. They're going to give you free money anyway. And if you do participate in this, then that is potentially an iPhone 15 Pro up for grabs, and you're entered in that every single day that you trade for the next 9 days. So that is well worth checking out. Super cool offer there. We're going to be talking a little bit more about CoinW in the next days and weeks as well. But if you are interested, then the link is there for you in the description below. But the EMA ribbon here, is going to start, kind of getting very close to Bitcoin potentially over this next kind of couple of days. And that's where we could start to expect that support coming in. So that's why I'm not too worried, but I totally understand why, you might think that the market is a little bit shaky right now, and I do agree. I mean, it's not the strength that I would have wanted to see. I would have wanted to see a little bit more than this, and on the daily time frame, we've still got, a good amount of ground to cover, to be honest. I mean, none of this move that we've actually pulled off yet, if we're being honest, ladies and gents, none of this move that we've actually pulled off up to this point is particularly impressive until we can start getting above our key areas of resistance that are going to sit around the 28.6k area. And just bear with me here. We're actually going to be going on to the altcoin market, but I've got to take care of my connection here because I have no idea why this is behaving so poorly. Hopefully we're all better now. Let me come back. Here we are. And the next thing that I want to be showing you guys, with this chart right here is going to be some of the altcoins. One of the first charts that I do want to draw to your attention is, where is it? It is the Bitcoin dominance chart. If we take a look at it right here, and by the way, it wasn't this chart that I showed you at the beginning of the video. This kind of mysterious chart. We'll get to that very shortly. We're nearly there. It is the Bitcoin dominance, and we can see, I mean, with that wick that we just put in a couple of days ago, I mean, this is the highest Bitcoin dominance level that we've actually seen since 2021. So, I'm sorry, actually, since here, it did get above this high. So yeah, it was since 2021. In April, that was basically where Bitcoin kind of set its all-time high. And we know that when Bitcoin is mega bullish, what happens is that at the beginning, Bitcoin's dominance usually shoots up and everybody is selling their altcoin and they're finding that safety in Bitcoin. But then when that kind of mega bull run plays its course and we're kind of in the tail end, what we actually see is that money goes from Bitcoin back into altcoins. And that's where we start to see the dominance coming down. So right now, it kind of looks like we're in the first phase of that. Now, that doesn't mean that we're actually going to see a mega bull run. That's really important to keep in mind. I mean, we can stop this at any moment and start reversing downwards. But in terms of the kind of footsteps that we usually follow in when we are going to be trending up, we're fulfilling that pretty well right now. So I think that's absolutely great. And that is, potentially showing us that there could be some significantly, bigger increases in Bitcoin's dominance to come. I mean, when Bitcoin's dominance goes up, I mean, it really does not fuck around. It just goes very high. And honestly, it happens very quickly as well. So one of the coins that we've actually been speaking about on this YouTube channel with regards to that kind of analysis is Binance Coin. This coin right here, has got an abysmal chart. I mean, it really doesn't matter what your own personal convictions, opinions, or whatever the case may be are of Binance or its coin, but this is a fucking horrible chart. This is really a very dangerous chart. And the reason it's so dangerous, it's the same concept we've covered so many times on this YouTube channel, is that when you rise up so fast, which is actually what happened to Binance Coin back at the beginning of 2021 right here, when you rise up so fast, you don't actually give yourself a chance to establish any resistance on the way up, right? So I mean, there was basically only a little kind of very, very light block of resistance right around here at, you know, what was this, $130, but really nothing at all. And if you don't find resistance on the way up, then and if you do start coming down, you know, then you can't really expect support on the way down either. And it's the same concept that we've discussed extensively with Bitcoin. Again, if you've been hitting up the like button, staying subscribed, taking the bell icon and all that beautiful stuff on this YouTube channel, then you're actually going to be very familiar with what I'm talking about, you know, with these principles. It's quite straightforward, to be honest. It makes a lot of sense. It's very intuitive when you think about it. If you're rising up too quickly like this chart did, if you're not really stopping, if you're not really forming any reversals, then you don't even have any, you know, just from a psychological perspective, you don't have any levels where, like, you know, you could reasonably say as a trader, oh, well, you know, the price stopped trading here for a little bit, so maybe this could be a potential area of, you know, you don't have that. So, like, where do you, you know, where's the next logical buy area? It is, you know, potentially going to be much lower than this, and you know, it puts the market in really, really dangerous positions. I mean, you know, from this level here down to the next kind of area of support, it's easily an 80% drop. You know, it's been trading here, and by the way, you know, to really put this in perspective, Binance Coin has been, you know, this is not me fudding. If you think this is me fudding, then get the fuck off my YouTube channel. I don't need that kind of peasant attitude on this YouTube channel, ladies and gents. You're way too broke for this YouTube channel, way too small-minded if you think that this is just me fudding, you know, or trying to make people fearful of the market. I really couldn't care less how you guys feel about the market. I just want to make money, and I want you guys to make money. I don't care how it makes you feel. We just want to get rich, ladies and gents. You know, 60 days here that we've been trading, you know, more or less just sideways at the bottom of this range. And because my math sucks horribly, let me find out how many weeks that is. That's 8.5 weeks, ladies and gents. That's a very long time for Bitcoin to, you know, just be trading sideways. I'm sorry, for Binance Coin to just be trading sideways here, you know, basically at a bottom. You know, when we talk about the kind of body language of a coin before it rolls over and kind of collapses below, what we typically see are these, you know, kind of quick spikes up. So we drop into this range, but we're not fucking around. We're pumping up the very next day. Look, we're dropping down, but, you know, there's no interest in this price level, or I should say there's a lot of interest in this price level. So we don't really hang around over here, you know, and we end up getting sent very, very high. And then you can start to see that actually over time, our recoveries become slower. And it's almost like aging, you know, like you fall over, but when you're super young, you're getting up. So this is a classic bad analogy. I haven't done this for a while. Shout out to those of you that have been around for long enough to have heard all of my bad analogies, or many of my bad analogies throughout these YouTube videos. I just like to spin them up, whatever. They're fun. You know, when you're young, you get kicked on the ground. It's easy to get up. You're getting up very quickly, same time, same minute, same second, whatever. Still, you're getting up a little bit faster, but perhaps you're not jumping up as high, you know, on the follow through. And then over here, this is where we really start to see a big difference, where now you're taking longer to get up. You know, you're staying on the ground for a little bit of time as well. You know, and so what we saw with this little exception here, I mean, there was a long time between these two tests. So, you know, I'm not surprised that this was a quick recovery, but what we saw here was, yeah, I mean, you know, it just wasn't as quick as how we used to bounce up. I mean, you know, even when we started to get up, we're kind of hanging around on our knees a little bit now. We were on all fours. We're trying to get our balance, trying to get our stability. It's not looking great. You know, and here, it's just a bad picture. I'm so sorry if I'm making some of you guys feel a little bit upset by this analogy. I'm just thinking out loud. This is probably quite insensitive, but you know, it works. It's a very valid analogy, I think, even though it's extremely fucking stupid. You know, now we're not even able to get off the fucking ground. We're just rolling over, waiting for somebody to come pick us up. You know, waiting for some USDT to be printed or some BUSD to be printed and pump the market up. That's really our only hope right now, as far as I see it. You know, as far as this analogy goes, realistically, could the price still pump up? Yes, obviously, but I don't see the chart for that right now. I think the only thing that could help Binance Coin is if Bitcoin, you know, performs amazingly strong. But you know, when you're an altcoin and you're just kind of hoping that Bitcoin saves you, that is a weak position to be in. You know, and the other thing that I wanted to point out to you guys is when you get these kind of quick bounces followed by you come back down, but you're just not even mustering a bounce, that is, you know, the sign that the market is going to collapse. I mean, that's always how it goes. It's so typical Let me show you an extremely famous example where I actually made a beautiful 60% profit off the same thing. If we go ahead and take a look at Bitcoin here with this $6,000 range, what we had right here was for a long time, $6,000 was kind of the floor for Bitcoin. You can start to see this. Like, we got the big spike up the first time. The second time, we still had a kind of fast recovery. The next time after this, we still had a recovery, but it wasn't particularly strong. And then at the end, we were just, and it's basically the situation Binance Coin is in. You get that fairly quick, comparatively quick recovery, followed by just rolling around on the floor. And how long did this one last? It's the same thing. This was about 8 weeks, 9 weeks. Yeah. Where the price is just doing nothing, just trading sideways. And that was directly what preceded the drop to the downside. And by the way, we do this, to the upside as well. I mean, just to show you that this is very fair analysis. I mean, what we had, over here when we were kind of trying to pump up, was that we hit the high and then we just kind of consolidated, and that's your sign that actually the market, it doesn't want to go back where it came from. That's basically what we're getting here. If we see the 6K range, what's clear is that the market gets sent back down, but it doesn't want to go back up. It wants to stay down, and then obviously, naturally, eventually, time is going to run its course, and we're going to see the chart playing that out. So if we go back to this kind of mystery chart, what are we actually looking at here? A beautiful, beautiful trading opportunity. It is Dogecoin. And by the way, I actually went to, I want to get a dog. I actually went to a dog store. I don't know what you call them. The Shiba Inus were so fucking cute. My WhatsApp, I'm sorry, not my WhatsApp, my Instagram, Twitter profile pictures are all of me holding a Shiba Inu, one of my favorite dogs I've ever met in my life. Fucking love dogs. I'm actually choosing between a German Shepherd, Golden Retriever, and the Shiba is kind of in the backup. You guys know me. It's not got anything to do with the altcoin. I couldn't care less about the altcoin, but let me know what you think. German Shepherd, Golden Retriever, Shiba. I'm here in Dubai. It's not really the best place to get a dog, but I need one. But yeah, so Dogecoin's chart right here, minus 88% drop down to its next area of support. Absolutely horrendous chart, even worse than Binance. I mean, we talk about Binance Coin being down there for at these lows for 8 weeks. Shiba's doing it one step further, going for 9 weeks here. I mean, just a horrible chart. And this is exactly the kind of coin that should drop. Binance Coin, you say what you like about it. It has, at least got more utility, more of a reason to exist than Dogecoin. And Dogecoin being a meme, the nature of these kind of coins, it's kind of surprising that I even have to say this out loud, but here I am anyway, is that, when these coins are looking attractive, they're very attractive, but when they're looking unattractive, they're very unattractive. And coins look unattractive when they're not making you money. It's just that simple. They look attractive when they're making you money. When they're making other people money, that's when they look attractive. And when they're starting to lose you money, you're not interested anymore. You don't even want to look twice. It's like the fat girl at the club and you're starting to sober up. You're not looking twice at her anymore, bro. And so this is kind of what we're seeing here with Dogecoin right now. If it does start to roll over, it's lights out for Dogecoin. And by the way, it's not just Dogecoin. Here's Phantom, another potential 78% drop. Same situation. It went up too quickly, didn't establish any support. Any resistance. We are on the weekly time frame, mind you, so it's a somewhat skewed perspective here, but still very valid. We managed to go up to. Within 2 weeks we crossed this fucking range. It's insane. From 0.4 up to 17 cents. What am I talking about? From 4 cents up to 17 cents. It's like a 4 times gain, and it happened within 2 fucking weeks. If the price does drop from here, I don't know. You could get bounces randomly, and they can definitely happen. Don't get me wrong, but if you're trying to expect that, if you're kind of looking forward to that, you're going to be very disappointed most of the time. So, you really, really need to keep that in mind, as we go on right here. And this is how a lot of the altcoin space looks right now. Cardano is another big coin that we've been talking about for a while. Same position, potentially even worse, because Cardano's already had such a big drop anyway. But these coins are down bad. If they lose these areas of support, I don't know what to say. This Bitcoin dominance chart that we were looking at a couple minutes ago, it is going to get a lot more dramatic, if these coins start to drop. And by the way, I don't really know if that's going to happen if Bitcoin is strong. If something happens to kind of really shake Bitcoin and send Bitcoin lower, then I don't see how it's not going to happen. I don't see how we're going to avoid that in this in the situation where Bitcoin actually drops down. So you best fucking hope that Bitcoin stays up here. But you know, if Bitcoin does rise up, then realistically, are we going to see these coins drop by like 80%? I don't really think so. If anything, I think these coins are going to end up pulling off a move, you know, that looks a little bit like, I don't know, we pump up a little bit, maybe back up to this descending triangle resistance line that Binance Coin has been forming, form another area of resistance, you know, hit resistance one more time and then come back down. I don't really know. I'm not going to do analysis that far into the future because it's impossible, and anybody that tries to do that is a complete idiot. They're lying to you, they're manipulating you, they're scamming you, or maybe they just like the street cred, but they're still idiots nonetheless. You just can't do analysis that far in the future. You know, you can only look at the next step. If you try looking 3, 4, 5 steps ahead, you're just multiplying probabilities at that point. And if you've got any basic understanding of math, you'll understand that the more you multiply a probability, you know, if something's got a 20% chance of happening, and then you're looking at 5 things like that, well, you know, your overall chance of being correct is extremely slim. So you just can't, you know, I mean, the only way you can do analysis realistically, and the reason that you see me being so damn successful with these markets, making such huge profits, is because I'm not doing that weird shit. I'm not in the business of it. It doesn't matter to me. You know, and you're understanding that very clearly as you watch these videos, which is fantastic. So, you know, that's probably what I would expect if Bitcoin stays bullish, and I am anticipating Bitcoin to stay bullish. And really, the main exception to all of this weakness that we're seeing with Binance Coin, Dogecoin, Phantom, one of the big exceptions we have seen is Tron. And Tron against the dollar has actually formed a very bullish falling wedge throughout all of this time instead, and it's actually now seen the breakout to it as well, which is fantastic. We've actually from our low managed to double in price, which is amazing. That's not something that you can say about any of these other coins. I mean, you look at like the beginning of 2023, what was it, like probably around over here, Binance Coin is actually lower than that point right now. I mean, you look at the same thing for Doge. I mean, you know, it's potentially lower. I don't know, the chart is kind of fuzzy, but it doesn't really matter. The point is very clear. Phantom's basically at the same level, if not lower. You know, Tron, as with Bitcoin, are really kind of the only few coins that are performing well, and so it's no coincidence that these are the 2 coins that I've been trading. I also, as you guys know, went long on Tron down at, I believe it was this level right here. I'm not actually sure, and that position has not, it was at this level. You know, Tron's now up by 15%. I traded it on 10x leverage. You do the math, that's like 150% profit now. Absolutely fucking crazy. You know, super happy with it. I've already secured so many profits on this position. My stop loss is on a minimum profit as well. Same for my Bitcoin trade, more than doubled my money on that. Just brilliant execution here. You know, it's no surprise that that's what happened. That's just, you know, we're looking to make money. You know, this is ultimately what I'm in the business of. I want to make money as a trader. A lot of other people say that that's the case for them, but then they start chasing bullshit. And what you really see when you analyze their behavior is that they don't want to make money, they want emotional thrills. And you know, think with that, if you're one of the people that haven't actually been particularly successful, do you really want the money or do you want the excitement? And what do your actions say about that? I think that's the main question you need to ask. It doesn't really matter what you tell yourself you want. If your actions are showing that you want something else, then you know, those are going to speak louder than words. So we've done beautifully here. Like I said, I've been trading these markets primarily on Bybit, so go ahead and check that out. CoinW is a brand new exchange. They're not brand new, but they've actually been around for a very long time, but they're new to me, so I am using them as well. So go ahead and check them out if you are interested. Like I said, you're getting up to $50 for free to trade with, and for the next 9 days, if you trade anything worth more than just $1, if you've never traded before on CoinW, you are going to be getting you're going to have a chance to win an iPhone 15 Pro, which is absolutely fantastic. So check it all out. I made, like I said, this trade on Bybit. CoinW is worth checking out. BingX gives you access to traditional finance markets. And if you want to get the insights into my trade in real time, then you can follow these steps on screen right here. You know, just actually the steps are, where are the steps? Right here. Just click on my my Telegram channel and then click on my name and then send me a message. Or you've got a direct link to send me a message as well if you don't want to go through those steps. Right here, this is on Telegram. You can ask me how to get inside of VIP, how to see the kind of trades that I'm putting out, and really get access to an extremely transformative program we've put together for traders. We've seen some crazy fucking results, made a good number of millionaires, super happy with that. So if you want to get yourself inside, then you can follow those links down below as well. I really hope you have enjoyed this one. A deep dive into the altcoin market, some potential massive problems here, some really nice opportunities nonetheless. Even if the markets are dropping, we've got nice opportunities with Tron. I'm super excited for where this could go. I'm still anticipating further upside for Tron. It's looking incredibly strong. Tron and Bitcoin to me look very similar, and they both look good to me. Tron actually looks a little bit better. So I'm going to continue to watch this and see how this moves and plays out. Obviously, if things start to change and get bad and sour, I'm going to know that too, and I'm going to tell you about that too. So I'll be keeping you guys up to date. Thank you all for subscribing to make sure that you don't miss this very time sensitive content. With that, I've got some beautiful dinner being cooked up, so I'm gonna head downstairs and check that out. And let me know, guys, if you've got experience with German Shepherds and Golden Retrievers specifically. For me, I don't know. Like, I know that the Golden Retriever is probably the right pick. I know that it's probably the one that I should be getting, but there's something about German Shepherds, you know, like to know that I've got the same dog that the military, you know, uses around the world, that police forces use around the world, that I've got that dog. That's fucking cool, you know. So I don't know. That's something that's really captivating me. Golden Retriever, you know, I mean, it's the happiness dog, right? Like, it's an obvious pick. It's either them two or a Maine Coon cat. I need a pet. I've lived with a pet for most of my life, you know, but since I came to Dubai, that hasn't really happened. So I feel like there's a bit of a void in me, you know. Like, pets are super cool to live with. Maine Coon cat is super easy. If I decide, like, really, it's either a Maine Coon or maybe even two Maine Coons, brother and sister. I got a very good friend of mine that did that in the UK. You know, it's gonna be either one or two Maine Coons or, you know, German Shepherd, Golden Retriever. And I don't know. And I know that if I get the cat, it's like my life is on easy mode. I fucking love cats anyway. But dogs are different. So I don't know. What do you guys think? Especially if you have experience, I want to know. One of the things that I'm trying to get answers on is, like, you know, look, I mean, I'm gonna work out with the dog and stuff. That's cool. Take him on runs, whatever, no problem. Dubai, it's a little bit restricted, right? So it's not like I can just go on hikes and, like, you know, the mountains off near LA, you know, with my dog. But or really hikes anywhere, to be honest, because people just don't like dogs in this part of the world. You know, and so that kind of makes it slightly more restricted. But it's what I'm wondering is, like, you know, if we're just kind of chilling at home, like, is that gonna piss off the German Shepherd? Is the German Shepherd gonna have, like, this instinct to, like, herd sheep and, like, run on the fields and on the golf courses and whatever, and, like, you know, herd imaginary sheep? Or are they just gonna be chill at home, you know, wrestling a little bit? I'll fight with the dog, fuck it. I mean, not like in a bad way, but, like, you know, I'll wrestle with the dog. I got no problem with that. Get scratched up a little bit, that's totally cool with me. Maybe I'll change my mind when it happens. But, you know, like, you know what I mean? Is that enough, or does the dog really need to, like, be out, you know? I don't know, but I'm just thinking out loud. Thank you all for paying attention to my rambling, and I'll see you all in the next one. Cheers.